Hello and welcome to Face in the Crowd. It is the show that celebrates your exceptional entrepreneurs. I am your host, Liesl Wilson, and today we turn our eyes on CEO and founder of a local fast food franchise called Nkhukhu Box.
Hi, my name is Itumeleng Mpatlanyana. I'm the founder of Nkhukhu Box. Nkhukhu Box is a grilled chicken concept, and we are doing it differently. Mokasi, we are game changers in the fast food industry.
We are joined by Itumeleng Mpatlanyana. He's the owner of Nkhukhu Box. Thank you for making time to chat with us today.
Thank you, thank
you. How
you.
did I do in your surname?
Very good. I'm surprised.
I've been practicing. Itumeleng, how did this idea come about for you?
Oh man, this was more of a problem-solving exercise. I've been in the fast food business for about 10 years now. So the problems that I've experienced before, number one, you know, in the food business, location is very important. Yeah. So when you are a young brand, especially a black brand, it's very difficult for landlords in Sandton or Eastgate to give you the prime spots. You know, they'll never put you next to a McDonald's or a Nando's in the food court, so they'll always hide you somewhere. And the problem number two is that you can't negotiate your lease terms, you know. You sign away, it's either their way or nothing at all. Yeah. 2 years down the line, your business is bound to fail because you're not in a prime area and your rent becomes expensive because it escalates between 8 and 10% every year. So third year, your rent is 30% higher. So I wanted to find a business model that does not rely on shopping centers at all.
Yes.
I wanted to set up store and do what I can in that particular area. So no one is telling me I can't do this, I can't do that. So hence Nkhukhu Box was born.
And you set up shop, last year, August. Since then, the ripple effects of that, you've seen many more shops open in and around the province. What has that journey been like for you?
It's been hard, but it's a good feeling when certain landlords call you up and they want your brand in their shopping centers. And you say, no thanks, I'm sorted. Yeah. I stay in the township. Because we build our stores out of shipping containers. Yes. So we go around townships, we look for land that is either neglected by the council or neglected by private owners. Some of the sites have become illegal dumping sites. So we track down the landlords, we do a deal with them, we clean up the site, we do the landscaping, and we come set up our Nkhukhu Box.
Nkhukhu Box chicken. There's a play on that word. Why specifically did you decide to go into chicken and franchise that for that matter?
The GP on chickens, it's quite nice. As you know, beef is expensive. Chicken is a staple food. People eat chicken almost every day, and we can play around with the different sauces on the chicken.
What do you think Nkhukhu Box offers that sets it apart from its competition?
Yeah. Nkhukhu Box, we are a grilled chicken concept. As I always say, it's not only about the product.
Yes.
We provide an eating experience, you know, sitting out in a township in a place like this, having a good conversation, and there's so many characters in a township. You know, there's so many stories to be told. Yes. So we tell those stories through food.
What is your favorite on the menu? That's not fair to ask. Ooh,
chicken livers.
Yes.
The grilled chicken livers are my favorite, especially weekends, you know, after that night. So the chicken livers.
And having been in the business for 10 years, I know we were chatting about this earlier on. You have seen and ridden that wave particularly well. But what are some of those other business ventures you decided to dabble in? How did that fail or succeed for that matter?
My first food business was the fashion TVs. Remember back in the day? Yes. I had the one in Irene Village Mall, me and a friend of mine. It was great for the first 2 years, you know, it was perfect. We were living the life. We were young. My friend was 24, I was 27 back then, and it was smooth sailing until everything failed, you know. When that happened, that was the first time I found out there's people called sheriffs, you know, because we got a loan from the bank. Now the bank wants their money, you know. They got to my house, they took everything, you know. I remember the day I was sitting down on the floor. Instead of crying, I actually was smiling, because in my head I told myself that I'm gonna do it again, and next time I'm gonna do it bigger and better, you know. And I also remember at one point I was helping the sheriff carry the furniture out, because I don't know, it's just the motivation in me that went on. And from there, and then I developed my own brand called Spikos Shisanyama. At one point we had about 40 stores around the country. That's when I learned more about franchising, landlords, lease agreements, franchise agreements, and all of that. When that also went bad after a couple of years, then I thought, you know, I need to come up with a different business model for me to survive and to compete with the other big boys in the industry. I mean, you get these American brands coming to South Africa.
Yes.
How are we as young South Africans compete against them? I needed to find an innovative way, a different way of doing things so that we can compete with them.
So learning from your mistakes, I mean, you mentioned you would do things bigger and bolder next time around. How would you do it a little differently?
Number one was to create my own brand.
Yes.
Where I set my own rules. And now that Nkhukhu Box is born, we want Nkhukhu Box to go in all the major townships in South Africa. And we're also looking at neighboring countries.
So obviously being part of that township economy that we can see is thriving and is helping to contribute to South Africa's economy at large.
Yeah, no, certainly yes. There's massive opportunities within the township.
Yeah.
It's massive. We just need to come up with different ways of doing things. Because the traditional ways of doing it, it means you are competing with the big boys, and we won't win, unfortunately.
What have been some of your highlights to date since starting Nkhukhu Box, and just seeing that you've been able to create your own space within a market that is saturated in a sense with what you're providing?
One of my biggest highlights, I won't mention the company's name, but there's one of the big boys in the food industry.
Yes.
They came to my office and they wanted to know who this Nkhukhu Box is.
Yeah.
So they wanted to know what have you done, you know. So it was a great experience.
To know that people are watching you now.
It was a great experience.
Officially competition. Now, you don't run this alone. I mean, there's a team who helps you roll out and obviously run day-to-day operations as well. We managed to catch up with a few of your colleagues, and this is what they had to say about working with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ngomo. I'm the warehouse manager in the distribution center head office of Nkhukhu Box.
Hi, my name is Shalom Mutivi and I am the marketing manager of Nkhukhu Box.
I joined Nkhukhu Box on the 4th of September last year because of the background of the food experience that I've gathered from the time I started working in Durban.
I joined Nkhukhu Box about last year in May 2016. Yes, I met Itumeleng prior to that. I was in a media agency. So once I left, he discovered that I left, then he sort of headhunted me. He looked for me and he asked me to join the team, and I did.
It's quite challenging, you know, but I enjoy challenges because it keeps me on my feet, you know. The reason why I can say that it's challenging is because it's a new company, but it's growing rapidly. It's growing very fast in the space of 12 months.
It's been so interesting. I mean, there's never a predictable moment. You know, you think that something is going to go a certain way and then it changes, you know, and for the better, you know, I mean, in a very good way. I mean, I think when we started, we didn't have such high expectations. We didn't think the brand would be this dynamic, this big, but you know, all we did was we put our all into it. And yeah, it's surprised us ever since.
Well, working in this place, I mean, it goes back to the passionate things about the food industry. That it begins with the passion, you know. So that's how I ended up being here, because of the experience that I've gathered over the years as a chef, and now I'm here.
What I like about working here, well, I'd have to say it's the vibe. You know, the sense of belonging here, you know, I mean, we really work as a family. We work very hard though, we work very hard at it. I like the fact that there's never a day when if you can't do something, there's no incident where if I'm failing to do something, someone won't be able to have my back. And I think that's very important. We all fill in the gap for each other, you know, where I have a weakness here, someone has a strength there, and we're not afraid to cover each other, you know, so that we create a stronger unity.
Mr. Itumeleng is a vibrant gentleman. He takes challenges. He's been to a couple of things. He's been around. He has done a lot of things in terms of business. So I've got an opportunity to work closer with a lot of people that are hands-on into their businesses, and he's one of them.
Working with Itumeleng it's interesting. It's a little bit weird because, I mean, he's such a calm person. He's such a very humble spirit, yet he carries such an authoritative, you know, presence. You know, you can't help it when he walks in, you want to like fix yourself and stand up right and be like, oh crap, he's here, he's here, he's here. And then he comes in like, oh, hey guys, and you're like, okay, this is how we're feeling, okay. You know, it's great.
For the past 12 months, I've learned quite a lot from him, you know, especially when it comes to risk taking, because he takes risks very, 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 very well, you know. Even if it means that you take the risk by yourself or you take the risk as a group, if something needs to be done, it has to be done.
I think he's a real risk taker, but he's very calculated at it. You know, it's very interesting to see how, no matter how many times life can punch you down, you can stand up. And you know, he speaks about how it's not the end of the world. You know, if something happens, just get up again and carry on. And that's really what I've learned from him.
I wish for this brand that it grows, it becomes an international brand. It's recognized like the bigger brands that are out there, and we will also like to grow with the business itself.
What I wish for him is I really wish that he truly gets his satisfaction from this. You know, there's no greater reward than seeing your contribution towards a person's success. You know, I think it would be great to see him fulfilled in this. And as the brand grows into new heights, I mean, I think this brand is very special to all of us, it being the first wholly Black-owned and operated fast food franchise.
It's time for a short break. When we return, we get to know Itumeleng a little more. Stay tuned.